Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World episode 156. I'm your host, John Jordan. Don't forget to check out my daily email about blockchain games. You can find that at gamestx.substack.com. In this episode, I'm talking to JC Kim, who is the CEO at Planetarium. Planetarium is a South Korean mobile and PC game developer. It's actually been around since 2018, 2019, as we discuss, and it was set up to develop blockchain games. It's very interesting that JC is very into decentralization, and I would say ahead of his time was very much into making a fully on-chain game, which is what their game Nine Chronicles is. So we go back to some of that history, some of that sort of vision of fully on-chain games, how Planetarium has been dealing with making its own blockchain, so it runs on its own sort of blockchain infrastructure. And actually, JC is sort of a believer that every blockchain game should have its own blockchain. Not sure I necessarily agree with that, but he makes a good case, and it's very interesting to be playing Nine Chronicles, which originally was a PC game, now is available on the mobile app stores as well. So you can play the same version of the game through PC and get all the blockchain features, or you can play the mobile version through the app stores, get the same game, but obviously slightly different access to blockchain features as well. So a really interesting conversation. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe. Every week we are talking to the people building out this new blockchain gaming sector. So I hope you are enjoying that, and on with the show. Hello, everyone. Very pleased today that I have JC Kim, who is the CEO of Planetarium, a South Korean developer of blockchain games. I guess best known at the moment for Nine Chronicles, which we're going to definitely talk about. Great to have you on the show, JC.
Hi, nice to meet you, and thanks for inviting me in this podcast.
Not a problem at all. Been looking forward to this. I have to say, I've been playing Nine Chronicles for a long, long time, so it's been good to
Really?
get behind the scenes and understand some of your thinking. But before we jump into the game, it'd be good, I think, to talk a little bit about how Planetarium sort of came about. So you, as far as I know, you were sort of in the first wave of blockchain games, probably 2018, 2019. I first started noticing you. So you've been around for as long as Sky Mavis and all those people. You're real sort of OGs in the space. So explain a little bit. How did blockchain games become an interesting thing for you?
Yes, we just started since 2018 because I just want to make a Bitcoin-like game. I love Bitcoin because it's trustlessness. So anyone doesn't depends on the Bitcoin. So we if someone we don't need to know who is the Satoshi and who operates this, because we can read the code and we can read the protocol. So I think if we contain every game history on the specific blockchain, so we can make a Bitcoin-like game. So it means that the game players and community doesn't depend on the company, and so and they can operate it themselves to operate and then playing the game. And so that's why I just want to understand how blockchain is working, and I just want to implement the blockchain engines. That's the start point of our company and team. So basically, it was my hobby project. So, but after some of the other friends that participate my personal open source project, so it changed to the company level projects and get some seed funding from the other VCs. So that's the starting point of Nine Chronicles. And after 3 years, we can launch the Nine Chronicles in October, and lots of players are coming in, and so we at the before the launching, we were very nervous, but we thought that there are lots of developers are already doing their own fully on-chain project. But but nowadays there's no proper production level fully on-chain game yet. So we are very early pioneer about the fully on-chain gaming area right now. And so right now, so there are over 100K monthly active users are playing a game in Nine Chronicles, and so our team is around 60, and so working in both of Korea and Singapore, and so we are also working with the other gaming projects that hope that want to make the ambitious so web series gaming project.
Mm.
So they also want to learn more about our technology and our go-to-market strategy. So we are
Yeah.
openly helping with them.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That makes you're starting off saying I love Bitcoin. It sort of makes sense because it wasn't sort of clear in the early days. It seemed like your approach, which seemed very, to say, sort of open source, and I don't think we used the term fully on-chain games back then. I don't remember that being something we used. We said really in 2018, but
Right.
I remember the first thing I remember. I think someone did an interview with you, and you were saying sort of every game should have its own blockchain. That was very much your philosophy. I
Yes.
think at the time that seemed really quite
You know
quite
that.
novel. But now quite a lot of people think that, don't they? I mean, so you were sort of ahead of the game in terms of your vision for the gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So you mean that it says so so I have same vision
yeah,
still
but,
now?
it was interesting that not many people had that vision of being fully on chain
Yeah.
in the early days. But
So
that's something that you've kept through the
yeah.
years.
Right. I think so building a fully on-chain game is a very hard journey.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
even for us too. So I still agree with our original vision that everyone needs their own blockchain, and it should be good
mm,
to the game project itself because it can be edited at the protocol level, so anyone can the entire the gaming experience. By making their own blockchain
yeah,
for their own Web3 gaming project. But right now, so we feel that it's very very hard. Even there's no the other fully on-chain Web3 game that has its own mainnet right now. So still,
yeah,
even so, the lots of blockchain toolkit is out, and so anyone can easily make their own layer one at this moment. But
mm,
but there are still lot to do to make
yeah,
a fully on-chain game. It has its own mainnet. So we
mm,
we also prepare lots of things that help the developers who want to fully on-chain game.
yeah,
Right. So before that, so there are a very very few the developer resources for creating a fully on-chain game right now,
mm,
and still now. So we are now we are now developing so much more tutorials and so developer resources for developers. And
mm,
I think so by end of the years, so there are at least 4 5 so fully on-chain gaming projects that
okay.
has a lots of monthly active users will be out, and we will definitely take some part of helping them too.
Because that's again we are going to talk about Nine Chronicles, but again that was an interesting thing in the early days, and I guess it's still the case that you were building sort of infrastructure and technology for other game developers. You sort of want to be a platform for other people to use your code, isn't it? So how have you found that? Because it's making a game is hard, making a blockchain's hard, making a blockchain for other people to use to make their games is probably hard, even more hard.
Yeah, very hard journey. So lots of our developers are burned out for doing this. Doing
Yeah.
this is great, but we are still working for all of that. So that's our aggressive objective for proper so great so web series gaming experience to the public. So so we also so the good thing is that so 3 or 4 years ago, there's no person that agree with us.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I remember that one of the major investor said that, so they say no to our team to invest
Mm,
because they think that it's impossible. So building
yeah.
building a good game is very hard. Building a good technology is very hard, and
Mm,
it's almost impossible to that. So they think that I'm saying lying.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why they rejected us. But right now they are one of the major investors also, because after the launch of Nine Chronicles, they reviewed our full source code and our full technology, and they admit that so we are doing real we are building real things, and
Mm-hmm.
and so we are now getting a more so partner that so you that is that is hoping to adapt our technology and our resources to their game project right now. So it's very happy, but still we needed to. So the not to do we needed to do is that we needed to make more so resources and more community for building the fully on-chain game so, right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I guess I probably know the answer to this question, but as time has gone on, and in the early days, it was hard for you to build your own blockchain, and as sort of things like L2s for Ethereum have come about, so we have Arbitrum and Optimism, open
Mhm.
source projects as well. Was there ever a temptation for you to say we'll stop doing our own blockchains and start to use some of these sort of off the shelf blockchains? Because that, in a sense, that saves you a whole bunch of sort of stress and challenges, and you get to use these other
Uh,
people's tools. But was that ever? Did you ever think about that, or were you always very firm that you wanted to build your own?
Basically, I'm very positive about that. So layer
Yeah,
two or the other
yeah,
so layer three so architecture
yeah,
because
yeah,
so I think so fully on-chain experience itself is very important, and so
mm,
building their own blockchain is one of the way they can choose. And also so layer two is one of the other options they can check. They can choose a very easy way to build their own fully on-chain game,
mm,
but it needs some the other tokens, and they have some limits to expand and build their own so gaming experience, because all of the transactions still need some ETH, so small
yeah,
amount of ETH, and there are some limitation of their layer two protocol itself. But I think so. Some type of fully on-chain game is enough to go, and they can easily create a fully on-chain game based on the layer two, and they have some the other marketing benefits from so
yeah,
building a so fully on-chain game on layer two, because the layer two project has a lot of so great marketing and publishing initiatives, and they can get some great support from there. And so I think the building fully on-chain game itself has easier than before. So they
yeah,
can choose lots of ways to do that. So they are choosing the Cosmos SK and Leap or so building on a so Arbitrum or using OP
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
happy with that basically.
Hmm. But Planetarium was never. You never thought we'll go and use some of those L2s and not have to build our own blockchain. You were
Maybe
always
yes.
maybe okay.
Yeah, because so we are building our own tech stack, so but I
Yeah,
don't want to limit ourselves to
no,
our own tech stack. So I
yeah,
just want to use all of them.
okay, yeah, okay,
Yeah, if some projects so we have a good fit, so we can use layer two, and so
hmm,
we can use OP stack, or we can use layer ones,
yeah,
building a fully on-chain game on Ethereum directly. So
yeah,
that's one of the cool idea I think.
hmm, cool. Okay, let's talk about Nine Chronicles. So, that's your at the moment that's your first game and your second game, sort of your only
Yeah.
game. Um, and in some ways, it's sort of when you think about a South Korean developer, what game are they going to make? Then it's you would think of something like Nine Chronicles. It's a sort of an idle style RPG. South Korean developers are very good at those type of games. So was that the reason you chose that style? Did you have experience in making RPGs before? Was that how did Nine Chronicles as a sort of vision come about?
So we have two reasons to make the Nine
Mm.
Chronicles as a either role playing game. Because one of the so first reason, so I love either game.
Okay.
Even
Yeah.
even about so 12 years ago. So at
Yeah.
the time I just I firstly played a web-based either role-playing game. And at the time I was shocked because at the time I loved action games. I need
Yeah.
to I so whenever I thought that when I play a game, so I needed to some some measuring timing, good timing to pairing or attacks.
Yeah.
It's a very core gaming experience for me. But when I firstly play either game, I just feel that it has very unique gaming experience that has so uh, it's like it's a management simulation game like so I just I need to decide which item should I get for clear the next stage and or I which timing I should sell my existing items to the market for the competitive benefit. So that so at the time I learned that either RPG can make it very fun. So I just want to make them. And second reason is that I just want to make a fully on-chain game, and at the time, so there are lots of limits for creating a fully on-chain game. So the genre that I can make is very limited.
Okay.
So that's why I only could choose simulation role-playing game, it's either role-playing game, or some type of the puzzle game. So
Yeah.
that so that at the time I just choose the game basically based on the technology itself.
Yeah.
So which one can be implemented? So based on my technology. So
Yeah.
that's the decision point what I thought about, and yeah, that's it.
Cool. And when when it first came out, I was playing it, and it was a PC game, and that was always to me that was always I guess you had to make it as a PC game because you're making a fully on-chain game. You're having sort of the blockchain integrated into the PC client, but it always felt like it was more of a mobile game in terms of the genre
Yeah.
to me. So I
Oh,
guess
so
that you know,
yeah, the first time at the first time, so the reason why we launched the PC version
mm,
first is that we just want to launch the fully decentralized version at the day one,
yeah,
and
okay,
for this I needed to install all of the nodes to the user's client. So
yeah,
at the time, so when the client launched, the node of Nine Chronicles also launched at the background,
yeah,
and it connected each others, and so
yeah,
technically there's no the other central nodes to communicate with.
mm,
But so I think so the PC user base is not very huge, and
mm,
there are some lots of so technical so limitation to make a proper so P2P communication
mm,
on
mm,
uh, only if we only choose the local node communication. So that's so anyone operate their own so Ethereum node.
yeah,
So for use Ethereum. So that's why we launch our own trustless node. So it is trustless, but so they can use our nodes by remotely connecting.
mm,
And at the time, we acknowledge that. So we don't need a PC right now. So why don't you make as a launch our mobile
yeah,
version? So that's why we expand
mm,
our version to mobile at the moment. And
mm, mm,
last year, so we successfully launched
yeah.
some
Mm.
Nine Chronicles M.
Yeah, 'cause one thing I actually got some videos on YouTube about it, but I do remember that early PC version when you were playing it, you were just getting a lot of reorgs in the chain because I guess because you the way the infrastructure was set up, you were running the client in the PC, and it was sometimes it worked fine, and then sometimes it sort of you realised that you were on an orphan or it couldn't find the chain or anything like that. So I mean
Yeah.
that's a long time ago now, but
Yeah, so at the time we so our consensus algorithm was a proof of work, and so there are some real situation.
okay, right,
Yeah, so there are lots of real situation are happened, and so that was actually one of the consensus, but most of gamers hate them.
yeah, no, exactly, yeah, cool, okay, and you sort of so the original Nine Chronicles is still going,
Mhm.
and that's been there for a few years, and then as you sort of mention there, the sort of big news last year was Nine Chronicles M, which launched I think in October or November, and
Mhm.
it was a bit confusing because when you first announced Nine Chronicles M, then we thought the M was for mobile because it was the first version
Uh,
going on mobile, but it wasn't for mobile, was it? It was a
yes.
bit more complicated than that. So,
Yeah.
do you want to explain how you were thinking? You had Nine Chronicles original that had been working on PC for a number of years, and then why did you how did you think about like a new? It's because Nine Chronicles M is sort of exactly the same game in terms of the
Mhm.
gameplay, but different in
Right.
terms of
Right.
the blockchain. So can you talk a little bit about the thinking behind how you ended up with these
Uh,
two products?
yeah. Just so basically, I just want to so show the bigger than bigger than existing the product. That's why
Yeah,
I just rebranded as M because I
yeah,
just want to explain a lot for so what we achieved so before so rather than before. So we just want to explain. So we our multi-chain expansion and also want to explain so multi-planetary system that's the firstly
mm,
introduced in the fully on-chain areas that leverage the feature of the future the fully on-chain the game that has its own mainnet because we can launch our own another layer two based on the same code. I just to
yeah,
emphasize that things and the third things I also want to emphasize its own I forgot. So what's the last name? Also, but
It'll come back. It'll
uh,
come back.
um, multi-planetary and multi-chain
Yeah,
and multi-platform, and
yeah,
so mobile is actually included in the multi-platform. But
yeah.
um, so other than mobile, so we also launched the Mac OS version.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
we right now
Yeah,
it's supporting Windows, Mac OS, Android, and iOS. So I just want to explain in
mm,
containing all of these builds because our team so take a lot of time to support lots of platforms. So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why so I mentioned so like that.
Hmm. Hmm. And just to clarify for people, what happened when Nine Chronicles M went live? That Nine Chronicles M as a game is available on PC and mobile. The original Nine Chronicles that was just on PC is now also available on mobile through the same
Yes.
client. But the sort of interesting bit is they both run on a different blockchain. So even though they're sort of the same game to play,
Hmm.
all the assets are on different blockchains. So it's sort of like having the same game running on Ethereum and I know Avalanche or something. And you can't. So the old Nine Chronicles original accounts can't be moved to Nine Chronicles M. You sort of have to start again from scratch. So you almost have have two games. How's that sort of worked? Because have you seen people still playing the original game? Because obviously people have a lot of people. Some people put a lot of time and
Hmm.
resources into that game. Are people playing both games? Are they playing Nine Chronicles and Nine Chronicles M? Obviously, new players are just playing Nine Chronicles M, I guess. But you've got sort of these different sort of audiences now. How's that sort of working out?
Yes, actually, so original network, so we named it as Odin,
Yeah.
and and mobile client also available to connect the Odin network too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we can support both network and all of the platform. But
Mm-hmm.
so when we thought that so original Odin network has lots of older users, including me. So and
Yeah.
so they have a very powerful equipment and very competitive
Yeah.
levels to to so it makes some problem when we invite a new user base to the other area because they when they come to the new places and they want to play so very competitive they face
Mm.
that so the OG members that has huge powers and they just leave the game so
Yeah.
we are afraid about that and just
Yeah.
we want to keep their original network's value, but we just want to make the new places to working, the fighting together at
Yeah.
from zero. So that's why we build so new layer two system named multiplanetary, and the
Okay.
Heimdall network is the so so new network based on this technology.
Okay.
Basically, this technology has a huge potential because
Mm.
so technically anyone can launch their own layer two, and based on the customized so settings. It means that anyone just want to make their own on the free server like that, like networks that they can launch, and they can invite the other users or their own guild members to their own networks to provide some unique experience to each others. And
Mm-hmm.
so by this way we can expand our gaming experience more various way, and also it serves our capacity issues. So theoretically, so it expands infinity level. Because at one network it technically can contain around so less than million some monthly active users. But so if we expand the network, so we can so contain the twice. And so
Mm.
you can, if we have a three networks, it can expand as a triple. So in this way, so we can make a Nine Chronicles so the limitless so game to the other users. But so so most of the other older users are concerning that if we are abandoning some Odin network or
Mm-hmm.
not. So we are guaranteeing that the Odin network is just a layer one network, because
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it would be the only fully decentralized proof of stake network. And the other network will be the layer two networks that depends on the security of the layer one. So it means that, and we will took the Odin network to the central space of the network. And so and even we expand a lot more networks, so they will definitely depends on the Odin network, and Odin network has its own unique value whenever we so deliver the new contents. So Odin will has a so first level so benefit and
Mm.
content space, and they it will help the other networks after they grow.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what we are
Makes sense.
doing right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. So that makes sense. And in terms of the, how have you found it on the mobile side? Because obviously we're starting to see more blockchain games go through the app stores, and then obviously Apple and Google have some rules now that you have to obviously fulfill if you want to go through those app stores. But we're starting to see more games do that. And we're starting to see some of the sort of the way developers are dealing with those rules. But it's still the case. You're one of the more sort of you're a fully on-chain game to some degree. So,
Yeah.
so I guess that's been a harder process for you to sort of think
Uh,
about that.
yeah. So we carefully deal with the App Store and Google Play stores for launching this game. But
Mm,
basically our so our strategy was that just provides in-app purchase
yeah,
experience
yeah,
to
mm,
the users. And so then the Google and Apple were okay with that, because so
yeah,
basically if they can grab the 30% of the revenue, it will be
mm,
okay. But
yeah,
the most challenging thing is that, okay, so we can provide the in-app purchase, but how to do that? Because it's a fully on-chain game, it's a fully
mm,
decentralized game. So even if we can provide something, so if it has some exclusivity for the dev team, it would be very bad for the core value of the Nine Chronicles, because we want to make the game that doesn't depend on our team,
yeah,
and doesn't take any exclusivity to our team. So that's
mm,
so what approach we took is so providing some great staking values, so
yeah,
staking rewards to public, and we also stake our own tokens to the network,
okay,
and
yeah,
we sell the staking reward to the to to players as a in-app purchase. So if
yeah,
so even
yeah,
if
that's right.
users also they also have some amount of NCGs, which is provided several years by protocols revenues as a reward model. So they can earn some staking reward. So we don't have any exclusivity about
Yeah.
that. So they can also so get some reward and they use by the protocol. And we also, but some users are very new and they don't have any NGGs,
Mm.
but they want to use the staking reward, so they can
Yeah.
buy the using the in a purchase from us.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that,
That's
that's
kind of
what
elegant. Yes.
we
Yeah.
do.
So basically, what you're saying there is people can buy anything you can buy through the in-app purchase system,
Hmm.
which is just in the mobile app, not the
Hmm.
PC app. You can also get by staking the token, the Nine Chronicles Gold token. You can stake that, and you also get the same items that you get through in-app purchase. You can also get through staking. So
Yes,
that's so either way, if you're playing on mobile or PC, you can sort of get the same rewards, just different
right,
colours.
right.
And
So
how are you actually? Well,
oh yeah.
I was going to say, how are you finding it? Are you because so I play pretty much every day, and I play on mobile and PC, sort of just
Hmm.
depending on sort of where I am during the day. But do you find is that how people are playing the game, or are people just on one platform? What's the sort of feedback you've been getting for
So
multi-platform versus
firstly,
single?
they start using mobile version, but
Yeah.
they are also install their PC version, and they
Okay.
are mostly using both of the platform, because
Okay.
PC version has its own value, and so
Yes.
mobile version has its own value. So eventually, so they are using both right now.
Okay. Okay. Good. I would say as you say, so the mobile one is sort of limited. So there's a whole bunch of features in there, notably sort of the peer-to-peer marketplace where you can sell in-game items using the currency. That's not in the mobile one. The mobile one has an in-app purchase shop.
Right.
And if people really want to get involved, there's a whole bunch of other things you can do on the PC version where you have your own set of Ethereum NFTs, these cats that you can these cat characters you can use in the game, and you can also stake those, and you get another currency, and then you can get these. I won't go through the whole thing. I've done loads of videos on it, so if people are interested, check out my YouTube.
You
But
know a
it is
lot.
quite it is quite interesting how you have this really quite deep blockchain project on the
Hmm.
PC side of it, with pretty much every blockchain thing that someone would want. You got NFTs and staking of tokens and all this sort of stuff, and then quite an accessible mobile version where people can just sort of come in and you wouldn't even really know it's blockchain. Maybe I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, there are you talk about private keys and stuff maybe a little bit. So it's I find it sort of really interesting. It's got sort of for me the best of both worlds, but it's it's sort of
Yeah, yes,
yeah,
yeah. That's what so our intention. So
yeah,
so
yeah,
even if they doesn't know about what is blockchain and what is the
yeah,
blockchain games and what is Web3, that doesn't care, that they just download and play the mobile game so without any hurdles.
yeah,
And if they want to win more,
yeah,
then insert PC version, and we
yeah,
can unlock lots of things that Apple or Google is restricted.
yeah.
And so they are learning more about so staking and NFT things by
Mm,
playing a PC game, and they are getting more benefits from there.
yeah. Cool. And you said I think you said mentioned you've got about it's about 100,000 MAUs at the moment across both games. So are you sort
Yes.
of you happy with the launch? How are you thinking
Yeah,
about that?
yeah, it was a very successful launch,
Okay.
and so before that, so our MAU was constantly growing, but at the time, at the time before the mobile launch, it was around the so around the 50K as a monthly active users, but
Uh huh.
it goes twice the level, and
Yeah.
so it's slightly goes down. But but the interesting thing is that because of the mobile launch, so some of the regions so growing a lot so
Yeah.
recently, so they are gaining some more users at this moment, and so we are getting a strong attraction so at the long term level. And so I'm very happy with there are lots of so growing the incoming so NCG staking at this moment.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So they are increased. They decided to increase their staking level to involve a lot more so staking reward. And so we recently, so a few weeks ago, we launched our pilot guild program,
Yeah.
And so our expectation was originally about 10 or 20 guilds based on our user base
Yeah.
so projections. But so there are over 50
Okay.
guilds. So that's far more than our original expectation. So
Yeah.
we are very happy with that, and so expecting a very positive so future of
Mm.
Nine Chronicles community. So
Mm. Mm.
after the mobile launch.
Mm. And you just mentioned there different territories. So can you give a bit of a geographical breakdown of where you're seeing sort of audiences coming
So
from?
mostly our user base is from the Asia region,
Yeah.
and so the funny thing, so the interesting thing is that most of the other Web3 gaming is some 90% of farmer base user base, but
Yeah.
so we are very harmonic user base structure. So so our revenue is mostly from the Korea and Japan
Hmm.
region, and they are spending a lot, and they are involving a lot to the games ecosystem,
Yeah.
and the so Vietnam region, so they have, so they are also farming and they are also spending too, and the Indonesia or the other Southeast Asia, so they're actively playing the game, and they started to spending in the market right now. So we are as a very harmonic as Asia and Southeast Asia as a user base, and they are they are interacting actively on market right now.
Mm. Mm. Cool. Good. Excellent. Well, I think that is a good overview of what you guys are up to. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you to you for watching, listening to the podcast. Obviously, the first thing you should be doing after listening to the podcast is going out and downloading Nine Chronicles M from the App Store. So you can download that. Obviously, free to play. You can get straight into the game and see what we've been talking about. But also, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. So every week, we are talking to the people who are building out this new way of playing games and enjoying games and sometimes making money out of games. We are on a weekly cadence now. So don't forget to subscribe and see what's going on. And thank you for watching this one. And see you next time. Bye bye.
See you next time. Bye bye.